So, you have to enter a confined space to perform work. Make sure you have all the bases covered. First, determine if the space is a confined space. Then, if it will require a permit. A confined space is any space not designed for continuous human occupancy, but is large enough to enter and perform certain jobs. Confined spaces can include tanks, pits, pipelines, ductwork, silos, and storage bins. According to OSHA, a confined space requires a permit when it has one or more of the following characteristics. Contains or has the potential to contain a hazardous atmosphere. Contains material that has the potential to engulf an entrant. Has walls that converge inward or floors that slope downward and taper into a smaller area which could trap or asphyxiate an entrant. Contains any other recognized safety or health hazard, such as unguarded machinery, exposed live wires, or heat stress. To determine if one of these dangers exists, atmospheric or other testing needs to be performed. If a hazard is present, no one will be able to enter until a permit is issued and a team is assembled. Remember, as soon as any part of the body goes into the space, even if it's only an arm, it is considered entering the confined space. Make sure you stay compliant by assembling the right team and following the regulations. The team. There are 3 main members to a confined space team. The entrant. The first and the one at highest risk is the entrant. Before going in, the entrant needs to have direct authorization from their employer to enter the space. The attendant. The second party of the confined space team is the attendant. There must be at least one attendant on each PRCS team. The attendant arguably has the most amount of responsibility on the confined space team, as they have the highest number of duties required by OSHA. The supervisor. The third and last required party on a PRCS team is the entry supervisor. In most cases, the entry supervisor is the employer or directly represents the employer. It is a good idea for this person to be trained and ready to serve as an entrant or attendant if need be as well. The entry supervisor is responsible for determining whether acceptable entry conditions exist, authorizing the entry, overseeing entry operations, terminating the entry, and canceling the entry permit. The rescuer. Given the serious dangers in a confined space, have rescue and emergency services available is key in case something occurs. Rescue and emergency services. Employees who conduct rescues must be provided with proper personal protective equipment and trained in the proficient use of that equipment. Employers must evaluate a rescuer's ability to respond in a timely manner. The specific hazard involved will determine what is considered to be timely. Remember, do not enter permit-required confined spaces without being trained and without having a permit to enter. Review, understand, and follow employers' procedures before entering permit-required confined spaces and know how and when to exit. Before entry, identify any physical hazards. Before and during entry, test and monitor for oxygen content, flammability, toxicity, or explosive hazards as necessary. Use employers' fall protection, rescue, air monitoring, ventilation, lighting, and communication equipment according to entry procedures. Maintain contact at all times with a trained attendant, either visually, via phone, or by two-way radio. This monitoring system enables the attendant and entry supervisor to order you to evacuate and to alert appropriately trained rescue personnel to rescue entrants when needed. Thank you.